Hey there, my name is Dave Sheahan and welcome to this edition of Bringing Back the Smile here on Lyra. Hey there, so welcome to this edition of Bringing Back the Smile. I hope you're well. I hope everything's going well for you today, this week, this month, this quarter, depending on when you're watching it, this year, again, depending on when you're watching it. Because the thing I want to stress to you, and I stress all the time to people, is you're literally holding the pen. Happy to be a pen here beside me, thankfully. You hold the pen for your life. You literally are writing your life every single day, every single minute, every single second. What you're doing right now is going to have an impact on what happens in the next minute. It's going to have an impact on what's going to happen in the next half an hour, the next day, the next week, month, and so on. And this is where people have to start living consciously and living conscious of where they're at in their lives and, the impact of what you do now has on what's going to happen into the future. And, we have to take personal responsibility for our lives, and we have to own the fact that we do, in fact, hold the pen. We have to stop making excuses. We have to stop playing the blame game. We have to just make sure that we're focused instead on doing what it is we want to do to live our best lives and to evolve into the best version of ourselves, because this is the power that you have. You have the power to evolve into the best version of yourself, and every single day you have this precious opportunity to do so. And that's what I have dedicated my life to for the last 27 or so years, to do my best to make a positive impact on others and help people just like yourself to be the best you can be, to turn your dreams into reality, because it is there for you. You can do it. It's just a case of you taking the action to do so. And that's what's necessary. It's about taking action. You can think all you want. You can put it out there all you want. It's like the book or the movie The Secret. It speaks so much about the intention and putting it out there and putting out the right energy and putting out what it is you want. But if you don't take action, none of it's going to matter. Nothing's going to happen. You have to take action. It's the one bit that's missing from The Secret, the book and the movie, that speaks so much about intention and energy and putting it out and the vision in your head and all that, which is hugely important, very important part of the puzzle. But if you don't take action, nothing's going to change. Action's what changes everything. And mindset's what changes everything. There's many different ingredients to it. And the problem for most people is they spend their lives hiding behind excuses, hiding behind the blame game, instead of taking personal responsibility for their lives. Because again, you, me, everyone holds the pen. We hold the pen of our lives. We're writing our story every second. Like for me, I'm doing this right now. This is part of my journey. I've made the decision to record this for you to hopefully make a positive impact on you. This is part of my life and part of my service to others, which is my choice in how I want to live my life and what I feel my purpose is here. I feel my purpose here is to make a positive impact on other people and to positively impact others, to change their lives and lead the lives they want, to turn their dreams into reality, and to create no boundaries in their lives and feel no limitations. That's what I personally feel I'm here for. So bringing back the smile is part of that. I could easily decide not to do this. I could be right now just legs up in a chair, having a McDonald's takeaway. Not that I ever do, that's poison, but just to give you an example, and just watch some brain dead reality TV or something. I could choose to do that, but no, I'm choosing to do this. So I'm writing my story by doing this, and this may make a positive impact on even just one person. You might be the only person this impacts in a positive way, but that impact on you may then in turn impact somebody else, because you make a change in your life, and then you changing your life and have a better positive energy and so on may then impact somebody else, and then somebody else, and it's like a domino effect. And this is what I would say to people, like, we all have an important role, we all can make a positive impact on others. It's just whether we do or not. But it all comes down to us taking personal responsibility for our lives. We have to start doing this. And this isn't happening enough. We live in a world and a society where excuses and blame are used for everything. It's never our fault. It's always somebody else's fault, or dad's fault, or poor me, or it's genetics, or it's my background, it's my parents, my grandparents, it's because I have too many kids, it's because of the dogs, it's because of whatever. We hide behind excuses. We hide behind the blame game. And the reality is it's you who are responsible for your life. Only you, just like I am responsible for my life. And my decisions each and every day and every second of every day determine where I'm at. It's the same if someone is in unhappy relationships. Maybe you're not giving enough of yourself. Maybe you're not being your best self in a relationship. Maybe you're not being spontaneous enough or sporadic enough. Maybe you're not communicating or being loving or being honest enough. But on the contrary, maybe you're accepting poor behavior by your partner. Maybe you're accepting them treating you not right. Maybe you're accepting them not treating you with respect. Maybe you're accepting poor communication. So you have responsibility there as well. Even though they're the ones that are doing something that you could perceive as wrong, you're the one that's allowing it to happen. Just like if you're single and you're unhappy being single, because if you're single and you're happy being single, that's cool. You do you. It's important we all do ourselves and do whatever that means, and that we're authentic to who we are. It's one of the most important things ever. Be authentic to who you are. Who are you as a person? Who do you want to be? What is authenticity to you? Who are you? And be authentic to you, and be, have good self-esteem, have a positive self-image, have confidence in you. Love yourself. There's nothing more important than loving yourself. I can't stress that enough to you. And in everything that I share and bring back to Smile, or 18 else I ever put out there, it all boils down to that. Growing, developing self-love. Because when you have self-love, it's literally like a superpower. You become impenetrable, you become untouchable. You don't care what other people think. Whereas when you don't have self-love, you care so much what other people think. You do what everyone else wants you to do. You become a yes person, and you just truly inside are not happy. And that's not a good place to be. So, everything I speak about is going to be around that self-love and, getting that point of being happy within yourself. But, you're responsible for that. So if you're accepting poor behavior by others, or if you're exhibiting poor behavior yourself, you're responsible for making those decisions to accept or to do. Okay? It's an important thing for us to get into our heads. Just like if I'm very overweight and completely out of shape, and I've got, I'm pre-diabetic or I am diabetic, I've already had a couple of heart scares, I'm on loads of medication, I've got sleep apnea, I'm on breathing devices just to stay alive when I'm asleep, all this kind of stuff. I have to take personal responsibility for where I am at that point and what brought me to that point, because my decisions, my actions over a long period of time, or possibly in a short period of time, have brought me to that point. I am where I am because of the way I've lived and the way I've reacted to situations. People may go, that was out of your control, it wasn't your fault or whatever, when people get ill. You can look at it that way, but you can also look at it as the person put themselves in a position to get to that position by decisions over a long period of time. So different than someone getting a heart attack. You don't get a heart attack today and it's because of today. It's nothing to do with what you do today. It's down to what you've done over a period of time. You're chipping, and eventually you've chipped too much, and then boom, disease. This is why basically every disease is a lifestyle disease. It's down to the way we're living. This is why I'm saying to you, be very conscious of what you're doing today and how it impacts your future. Okay? And our health is a huge part of that. Our wealth, our relationships, our physical shape, our well-being, our professional life, where we are in our career or business or whatever it is we want to do, our goals or aspirations. Like if you were 5 or 6 years of age want to be a professional footballer, and then at 25 you're still not a professional footballer, and you didn't genuinely give it your best shot, but you're still moaning about, oh, poor me, it's not fair how I couldn't do it, and blah, blah, blah. You didn't do whatever it took. Now, if you did everything you could to get to that point to be a professional footballer and you didn't make it, you can be proud of yourself. At least you did everything it took, and it just wasn't meant to be. It's not meant to be part of your journey. The thing is, live the life that you want to live, but sometimes it's not our journey. Be the best you can be. Like I would love to be a professional footballer. Did I do everything I could to be a professional footballer? No, not even close. But even if I did, could I have been a professional footballer? If I'm fully honest with myself, most likely not, as opposed to likely yes, because I wouldn't have the key ingredients. But also, I didn't do what it would have taken to give myself even a chance or give myself a shot. So, we have to own those things. Like there's certain things I would love to have done in my life at this stage, and now they're past. It depends on what it is, but some things are age related, and the time is past now. And I have some things I would like to have done, but if I did them, I wouldn't have had other experiences. So again, every time we're making decisions, we're leading to something. And it's important for us to just keep being aware of the journey we're on and keep moving through the journey and keep making the best decisions for ourselves and keep making sure that, what I always stress is, 1, live fully, but 2, most importantly, live in fear of regret. Every time we're faced with a decision, you need to focus on the regret side. You don't want to be regretting the way your life is. You don't want to regret where you're at. You want to make sure that when you look back in your life, you can look back and say, I gave my best shot, I did everything I possibly could. I couldn't have done any more. That's it. That's all I could have done. And That's literally the way you need to live your life. And too many people don't do that. Too many people don't live their lives that way. They're not living their lives to their best ability. They're living lives that are substandard and going to leave them with regrets. I want you to live in complete fear of regret in every sense. Like from the head point of view, you don't want to get to the stage where you're on tons of medication, or you've got pains and ailments, or you've got diseases, and it's ruining your life, or it's shortening your lifespan and decreasing your quality of life. You don't want any of that to happen. But the power is in your hands, whether it's going to happen or not. You have to do the right things. If you don't do the right things, that's what's going to happen. This is why I can't stress you enough. Be present. Live consciously. Live today. Today is the day that matters. Right this moment is what matters. How are you maximizing this particular moment? It's like if you're choosing to watch this, which you must be if you're hearing this, but you're choosing to watch this. This means that you want to better yourself. This means you want to improve your life. This means you want to evolve into a better version of yourself. You have dreams and aspirations that you want to live. You don't want them to just stay in your head all the time. But they'll stay there if you don't take action. So it's about taking action. You have to take action towards your goals. You have to take action towards what you want out of life. And you have to take personal responsibility for whether it happens or not. Because again, it's up to you whether it does or not. It's completely up to you. The way you live your life will determine everything. I can't stress that enough. So it's very important for you to live consciously. I've said some of the same things many times already, even though we're only early in the show. But it's because it's important that you get this, and you get this into your head. It's a message I drum into people day in, day out. So people might say, oh, you're always saying that. Well, are you acting on it? That's the key question. Are you acting on it? Or are you still doing the same things, despite me having said them so often? Because I'm going to keep saying the same things, because it's very simple what we have to do if you want to achieve success, if you want to be happy. We just have to be clear on what our own personal perception of success and happiness is. So are you clear on your perception, your own personal one, of what success means to you and what happiness means to you? Because that's the only person that matters. It's the only person that matters, what your own personal perception is. It's not about what society says. Society puts out what happiness looks like. Society puts out what we're supposed to look like, what we're supposed to dress like, how we're meant to think, what we're meant to believe, all that kind of stuff. You need to break free of all that. What does success mean to you? What does happiness mean to you? That's all that actually matters. So get focused on what it is, get clear on what it is. If you're not clear on what it is, take time to think about it. Take time to think about what it is that you truly want. What do you want out of life? What do you want life to look like? You're again holding the pen. The pen's in your hand every single day. So you just got the pen thrown in the corner and not doing anything, or you're writing frantically, trying to write the best script you can possibly write, because again, the power's in your hands. You have the power in your hands to write the script. And you're up to this point, you watching this, whatever way your life has been up to this point, you wrote that script. Some terrible things have happened, I'm sure. Everyone's got different traumas or bad experiences and so on, but you played a role in that because, again, you made certain decisions, or you reacted certain ways, or put yourself into certain positions that led to something happening against little things, little things. Now, doesn't mean the terrible things don't happen. They do, as I keep saying. But we have to take personal responsibility for all areas of our lives. And when you take personal responsibility for your life in totality, in every aspect, it's so liberating. And your life becomes so much more. You open up the doors to achieve everything you want in life. And that then in turn will lead to happiness. But you need to get clear as well on happiness. What does happiness mean to you? What does happiness mean to you? Like, take time now to actually think about it. Like, really think about it now. What does happiness actually mean to you? Because if you don't know what it means, it's going to be very hard for you to actually make it a reality. So get clear on what happiness means to you. Do you know? If you don't know, you need to start. Like, that's where you start right now. What is happiness? What does happiness mean to you? Write it down. And I want you to look at each area. You've got relationships. With yourself first and foremost, you have to be happy in yourself. How can you be happy in yourself? How can you experience self-love? How can you truly love who you are? It's the most important relationship. If you want to have a partner, if you want to have kids, friends, associates, employees or employer or business colleagues, all that kind of stuff. How do you want them to look? How do you want all those relationships to look? Your mindset, how do you want your mind to be? How do you want your body to look? We all have an idea of where we want our body to be. And again, forget society. It doesn't matter what society says it should look like. There's no norm. There's no best. There's none of that. Ignore all that crap. You know in your head what you want to look like, what feels best to you. Work towards that. That's the only shape that matters. Screw everybody else. It doesn't matter then what anyone else thinks. What matters what you think. What do you want to look like? Okay? So what is that? Get very clear on what that is. Have a picture in your mind. Even find someone with similar body shape and cut it out and have it somewhere as a reminder of what you're aspiring to be, what you're aspiring to look like. How do you want to feel? Sure, you want to feel good. Why wouldn't you? Because you want to feel optimal. You want your brain to work well. You want your energy to be off the charts. You want to be able to do whatever you want, no matter what age you are, because that's the power that you do have. If you don't have to reach a certain age and be basically decrepit and lose your independence, not be able to do much, and be limited in what we can do, that doesn't have to happen. Again, you're in control of that. You take personal responsibility for that. You need to take personal responsibility for that, I should say. Because most people don't. They just jump on the age thing. Oh, I'm this age. Oh, it's because of my age. Oh, it's because I'm this age. Rubbish. There's people who are 90 who have the right mindset and they run marathons. There's people who are 20, 30 and they feel they can't do anything. You find it hard to go jog for a kilometre. That's the difference in mindset. See, what goes on between your ears is what's most important. It's like with age. Age is only a number. You're as old as you feel. That's what matters. You're as old as you feel, as old as you think you feel. Like for me, I'm 44 right now. In my head, I'm still 20, 21. And I behave that way. Sometimes to annoyance to people. But I feel that way. And I don't feel limited in any way. Age means nothing to me. Would I prefer to be in my 20s, of course, because it means the time's ticking, time's running out. But also, as I'm getting older, it's making me more and more conscious of making sure I'm living my best life and living the life I want to live, because it's too easy to fall prey to fall into societal expectations or societal conditioning, to start thinking that you're an age that means certain things, means you can't do certain things, you can do certain things. Garbage. Live the life you want. And whatever way you want to live your life, just live it, because you can. What way do you want your mind to be? You need to have your mind positive. Positive mental attitude is powerful. Positive mental attitude is what you need it to be and you want it to be. Because when you have a positive mental attitude, the world looks very different. Your world looks very different, most importantly. Because regardless of what's going on in their world, your world is very different. Because you're in control of it. You know what you want out of it. You know what you want it to look like. So then you live your life consciously creating and maintaining that kind of world, because that's what you need. You know what you want to have. If you truly are doing it, truly know, then you know what you want. So then you go and make it happen, and that's again what life's about. You have the power. Remember, the power is in your hands. Again, you hold the pen. How many times will I show you this pen right now? I hope it's sinking in. Hope you can't forget this bloody pen, because it's nearly done. If I just stopped at that on this particular show and just left it, look, you hold a pen for your life, write a good story, and I said nothing else. That's pretty much the most important message from this particular episode. The most important message. So make sure, as I said, you're getting your mind around this. So important you get your mind around this. Your professional life. What do you want your professional life to look like? If you've got a business, how do you want the business to look? If you're looking to start a business, what do you want it to be and look like? If you're in a job, are you happy where you are, or do you want to climb the ladder? Now, what are your professional aspirations? What are your ambitions? Because it's such a big part of our lives. Our work, whatever our work is a third of our lives at least, if not more. It's 8-10 hours a day, 5 days a week, 6, 7 possibly, depending if we're self-employed or not. And sometimes it's for our whole lives, particularly with self-employed entrepreneurs. There's no retiring really, just keep going because you're just loving what you're doing, or you're driven and you aspire for more and more and more and so on. So where do you want that to be? What's going to be success and happiness in that area of your life for you? And then wealth, financial side of life. What does financial freedom mean to you? And this is the key question. What does financial freedom look like to you? Not against society. Society tells you to have millions. It's about being a millionaire and all this. No, that's garbage. Because if I literally handed you, let's say 10,000 or 100,000, let's say, in the morning, and I said, there you go. You should never need money again. If you're smart with 100,000, you won't need money ever again. It might even work. If you're smart with it. Because if you smartly invest and manage the money, then you won't need anything. But if you live a mad, lavish lifestyle, you're going to need huge amounts of money. It's like for famous people when you hear of them getting bankrupt, saying, how can you possibly, you've earned 40, 50, 60, 100 million, how can that happen? But if your lifestyle typically costs you 10 million a year, and you're typically making 50 million a year in movies and stuff, and all of a sudden it's cut, nothing happens, and you're not getting that money, or your career's over, or whatever happens, all of a sudden you're used to 10 million career, but you can only afford a 3 million career, or a lifestyle, sorry. So this is the thing, people live beyond their means. It happens all the time. Again, in normal society too. I'm not just picking celebrities. There's people who earn like 50,000 a year and they're living lives that cost them 70,000 a year. And they live off overdrafts and live off loans, live off debts. And it's a terrible place to be. And that's the way a lot of people are living. And, it creates so much misery and sadness and so on. And also the whole thing of aspiring to become a millionaire. It's nothing wrong with aspiring to be, but if you feel you need to be, to one, be seen as successful, and two, to be financially free, then you're missing the truth. You're missing what actually matters. What matters is what is financial freedom to you. You might be happy living in a little tent or a little cabin or something, and growing your own food and living very basically, not worried about your clothes, cars, holidays, material things or whatever. Or you might want the latest Armani watch, you might want Gucci clothes. I don't know if Gucci do clothes, it just shows how I'm not very materialistic, so I don't know these kind of things. But let's say to get Gucci clothes, you might want a Ferrari as a car, you might want a 20-bedroom house on 10 acres. If you want that, that's going to take a certain amount of money and a certain amount of wealth. That's financial freedom to you. If someone's happy living in a tent, growing their own food, very basic clothes, they might get buying 40, 50,000 a year. That's financial freedom to them. So we need to change, we need to break free of society's perceptions, society's conditioning really, of what wealth is, what wealthy, what financial freedom is, what success is in a professional basis, what your body should look like, and what a good relationship looks like. Because none of it matters, none of it's actually really real. What matters is what you think. What do you think? What's your idea? What's success and happiness for you in each of those areas? That's what really matters. And if you haven't taken time to clarify that for yourself and to really identify and write it down, then please do it. Start. Get pen and paper now, or use your notes on your phone, or use your laptop if you prefer to write in spreadsheets or whatever it might be. Note it, identify it, and become very clear on it. Because until you're clear on what happiness means to you, you can't move towards it. How can you move towards something you don't know what it is? So starting point for being happy and bringing back the smile like this show, which is what it's all about. Trying to get people to the stage of happiness, whatever again happiness is to them, and success in all those areas. To get to that point, you have to know where you're going. You can't just hop in your car and just, okay, off we go. You don't know where you're going. You'll have decided somewhere, or at least a general area, that you're going to move towards. So where do you want to go? Where do you want to end up? And then decide, how do I get there? Worry about the how after you decide the what. But the how can be worked out for everything. It doesn't matter what the goal is. The how can be worked out. But the why and the what, you have to decide. And the why is important now that I actually said it. You need to have a why behind what you're trying to achieve in life. Whether it be to be in good shape, to have a certain type of career or business, to have a certain level of wealth, to have a certain type of relationship, to have certain experiences in your life, you have to have a why. Because what else is going to drive you on when you're faced with obstacles and challenges and life throws you curveballs? You have to have that why. So what is your why in life? What is the why that drives you on each and every day? What is that? It's very important for you to become clear on it. Because if you don't have a strong, powerful why, all that's going to happen is when you're hit with challenge and hit with obstacles, and things aren't as easy as you want them to be, and they're not going the way you want them to, and you're just not feeling like it, you're just having one of those days, you're not going to bother. This is why the why is important. You have to have a strong why. You have to be determined to do things. And if you don't have a strong why, then you're not going to achieve what you want. You have to do whatever it takes to get what you want, but you have to have a strong enough why backing it. If you don't have a strong enough why backing it, then you're most likely not going to do it consistently. And consistency is everything when it comes to success and in turn happiness. You have to be consistent in what it is you're doing to get to where you want to get to. Like, this is very simple stuff, but it's what people are not doing. That's why I'm saying to you, to achieve anything in life, you have to bring it right down to simple basics. There's basic things to do. Know what it is you want. Know some of the steps to get there. Take the steps consistently. If you fall off, get back on. Fall off less frequently. These are simple things to do, but focus on the next step. It's like if you want to climb the stairs. Are you worried about the 20th step of the stairs or worried about the top of the stairs? You'd like to be there, but that ain't going to get you there just thinking about it and wishing you were there. Putting that foot on the first step is what's going to get you there. So that's what you need to do. Focus on how to get to the first step. What is the first step? What is the next step? I always stress to people all the time, what is the next step? Because that's what really matters. What is the next step? That's what we need to focus on. So we need to focus on more. That's what we need to be telling people more about. What is the next step? So be clear on it. What is the next step? Pick an area of your life that you want to improve on. What's the most important area you want to improve on? Like if you want to get in better shape and feel better and energy and fit into smaller clothes or whatever it might be, the next step might be literally just to go for a little walk or do a few bodyweight exercises or do a YouTube video or whatever it may be. For 5 minutes even. It doesn't have to be a lot. If you want to improve your health and well-being and brain function from a nutrition point of view, drinking another glass of water a day even will make a difference. Even just that, a glass of water. Because our bodies are 75% water, our brains 83% water, and without adequate water, we're not hydrated. We can't be hydrated. So it's very important for us to stay hydrated. Okay? So make sure that you think about what is the next step. Because again, the next step is all that matters. Okay? It's literally all that matters. So make sure, again, take things down to that. So know what the end is, know where you're trying to get to. You know where you are now. You know the steps along the way to get there. What's the next one? When you're taking that next one, then go on to the next one. Taking that next one, then go on to the next one. And the next one. So when you boil things down to a simple stage like that of what's the next step, it makes it so much easier then to actually progress. And you get empowered by it. You get momentum by it because you're feeling you're getting somewhere. When you feel you're getting somewhere, you get energy to keep going and keep going and keep going. So it's very important for you to make sure that bring it right back to the next step. So if you want to have your own business, that's cool, it's great. What kind of business? Doing what? If you have an idea what it is, you really have a clear concept and vision of what it's going to be, even just deciding what the name may be, where it's going to be, online, offline, premises, no premises, work from home, work in an office. Like, bring things right back. Forget the thing of, what I do when I have to have staff and contracts and all that. Forget that. It's you now. The business doesn't even exist. Get clear on what it is going to be and what the name is, what the next step is to get that even. Maybe it's just registering a name. Maybe it's just brainstorming a few names. Maybe it's putting a few names out to a few people and getting their feedback. Maybe it's looking at suppliers. Maybe it's looking at labels, something as simple as that. It all depends what kind of business it is. You might need to go get a loan because of a startup cost or a grant. What's the next step? Don't be worrying about stuff way down the line. Be aware of it, but don't be worrying about it. See what I mean with everything? You just have to focus all the time on the next step. And when you do that, it makes things so much simpler and more achievable. The problem for most people with goals and also create the life that they want to have, they're too focused on too far down the line. They're seeing the bigger picture too much. They're seeing the bigger steps too much. And then they're scared. And when you're scared, you typically won't take the right action. And your brain's too cloudy. You're not too sure what you should do. Focus all the time on what the next step is. Because once you do that, you're going to make progress. I always stress to people all the time, today, pick one priority, or two, or three. You have a huge to-do list. The to-do list will always keep getting bigger. It will never stop getting bigger. That's just the nature of to-do lists, okay? But within that, there's one thing that should be prioritized most above everything else today. And there's a second thing that should be second, and a third thing that is third, and so on and so on. So decide what should be prioritized. What's the number one thing and focus on that? Even if you only did that today, that's a step in the right direction. So get focused on what that is. So one priority or two or three. Don't focus on more than that each day. If you get them done and you want another priority, fantastic. But start off with 1, 2, or 3 and work off those and then build on them. And every day, in the next step, what's the priority? 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's another step in the right direction. And keep going and build momentum. So different again, like I said, we're getting in shape. What's the next step? Doing some exercise, drink more water, doing one food shop a week, doing a bit of exercise, buying some dumbbells or exercise bands, maybe join a gym, get a trainer, sign up for an online class, find a YouTube video, just endless stuff. Buy some trainers, buy some workout gear if you want to wear workout gear, whatever it might be. What's the next step? And then do it, and then make it a habit, make it consistent. Like when you drink more water, if If you do it over a period of time, it becomes normal. If you do an exercise over a period of time, it becomes normal. All like brushing your teeth. I always stress to people, it's like brushing your teeth. You don't go a day even without brushing your teeth. You definitely don't go a week or a month or years. So why should it be any different for any area of your life, especially your health and well-being? And just remember, I'm going to start finishing on this, that it's something I'm very passionate about, something I've stressed for decades now. Your health and well-being, the mind-body health area of your life, needs to be the priority. What happens to most people is the mind-body health area of their life is the one that they drop. They don't pay enough attention to it. When they're under stress, under pressure, when they're lazy, when they feel they have no time, that's what gets dropped. It's in the times of pressure and stress that you need to focus even more so on your health and well-being. You need to focus more so on your mindset. You need to focus more so on your body and physical movement. You need to focus more so on your health and well-being, because that's what creates energy, it makes you feel good, it makes your brain function. So that those times you can do it more. Focus on it more, not less. So I want you to commit to making the mind-body health of your life the foundation of your life, the foundational basis. It's like a house, the foundation needs to be sound, the foundation needs to be right. And when you've got a good foundation, what you build above is going to be much easier and sounder as a unit. When you control the mind-body health area of your life, I can guarantee you 100%, your life will be better. You'll have better self-esteem, self-confidence, positive self-image. It has a catalytic impact in all areas of your life in terms of your relationships. You're in better form, better mood, you think better, you're more caring, all that side of things. You're better in your professional life and you can achieve things more and you can achieve your dreams more, and you're more of an action taker and your belief in what you can achieve becomes unlimited. Financially become in a better position. Wealth becomes whatever you want wealth to mean, and so on. Make mind-body health the foundation of your life, and I can promise you it will change everything for you. You need to focus on it. I can't stress it enough to you. Like in this particular episode of Bring Back to Mind, we've spoken about relationships, we spoke about your mind-body health area, we've spoken about professional life and ambitions and aspirations there, we spoke about wealth and financial freedom. I can guarantee you the most important element is how much control you have over your mind, body, and health. It will determine everything. Your mind's control tower. It is the control tower. It decides everything. So if you control your mind and your thought process and your positive mental attitude, it's going to be positive impact everything else. I can guarantee it 100%. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that's been helpful for you. I'm passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about bringing back the smile. I'm passionate about making a positive impact on your life. I hope the show has made a positive impact on your life. I hope it's given you some food for thought. I hope you've realised now that you do hold the pain. I hope you're going to start illustrating that in how you live your life. Obviously, look at your life. And I hope if I was to look at your life, I would go, that person definitely is living consciously. That person realises every day they're holding the pain. That person's taking personal responsibility for all areas of your life. Because it's very easy to see if a person's doing that or not. And when excuses become a thing of the past, and when blame becomes a thing of the past, I want you to take personal responsibility. I want you to hold the pen, be conscious of it every day. And if you ever start to drop the pen, you pick the damn thing up again and you go again. Because you're human, you will drop the pen some days and just get by kind of thing and not really live consciously, but live consciously. You're holding the pen, you're writing your life, make it the best it can be, evolve into the best person you can be, live your best life, live fully, live in crippling fear of regret. I can't stress enough to you how fearful you should be of regret, because it should be the only thing in life that you're afraid of. Live in fear of regret. Okay? Make this your best life. You've one shot at it. Make it amazing. It can be amazing. It can be all you want it to be. It's unlimited where you can go with it. Make it amazing. That's it from myself, Dave Sheahan here, bringing back the smile on Lyra Media. I hope you enjoyed it. Please share this episode out there far and wide, because people need to hear these messages, and check previous episodes if you haven't listened to them, and make sure you check out all the other shows, wonderful shows, such a variety of great shows on Lyra Media. It's a great station. People here are doing amazing work. Please support it. Please share it out there. Follow the YouTube channel, subscribe, as well as across all the social media. But as I said, share this episode, bring back the smile out there, and let me know what you thought. Place comments, private message me if you prefer, whichever. Love to get your feedback. Have a good one, and keep, as I said, live in fear of regret.